Well, hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed yesterday getting to know Mr. Twit and his beard. Today we're going to start off with chapter 3. For those of you that are reading along, it is on page 14. And for those of you that are just listening, just sit tight, sit comfy, and let's have fun with this. Chapter 3, Dirty Beards. As you know, an ordinary face like yours or mine simply gets a little smudgy if it's not washed often enough, and there is nothing wrong with that. But a hairy face is a very different matter. You see, things cling to hairs, especially food. Things like gravy go right on in amongst the hair and they stay there. You and I can wipe our smooth faces with a washcloth, and we quickly look more or less all right again. But the hairy man cannot do that. We can also, if we're careful, eat our meals without spreading food all over our faces. But not so the hairy man. Watch carefully next time you see a hairy man eating his lunch. And you will notice that even if he opens his mouth very wide, it is impossible for him to get a spoonful of beef stew or ice cream or chocolate sauce into it without leaving some of it on the hairs. Mr. Twit didn't even bother to open his mouth wide when he ate, and as a result, and because he never washed, there were always hundreds of bits of old breakfasts and lunches and suppers sticking to the hairs around his face. They weren't big bits, mind you, because he used to wipe those off with the back of his hand or on his sleeve while he was eating. But if you look closely, not that you'd ever want to, you would see tiny specks of dried up scrambled eggs stuck to the hairs, and spinach and tomato ketchup and fish sticks and minced chicken livers and all the other disgusting things that Mr. Twit liked to eat. If you look closer still, hold your noses, ladies and gentlemen. If you peer deep down into that mustachy bristle sticking out over his upper lip, you'd probably see much larger objects that escaped the wipe of his hand. Things that had been there for months and months, like a piece of maggoty green cheese or moldy old cornflake, or even the slimy tail of a tin sardine. Because of all of this, Mr. Twit never really went hungry. By sticking out his tongue and curling it sideways to explore the hairy jungle around his mouth, he was able to find a tasty morsel here or there to nibble on. What I'm trying to tell you is that Mr. Twit was a foul and smelly old man. He was an extremely horrid man, as you will find out in a moment. And that, my friends, is the end of chapter 3. And I will be back later with chapter 4, where we actually do get to meet Mrs. Twit. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.